So, oh my gosh, what a freaking shocker in this week's episode. I had no idea that was coming. Great job, the family. Great job. Oh my gosh, I am still in shock over it. Thumbs up if you were totally shocked, because I freaked out, literally yelled out loud. We will explain that or get to that in just a little bit. But you know, at the beginning of this episode, I was just kind of aggravated with Ben because he was still insistent on pretending to be Adam and calling Claire his mom, and it was just like, what is wrong with him? But I do have more sympathy for him now, because I think he never really had a real family, and he just wishes so bad that they could be his real family. So we notice that Doug's wife is getting a little bit suspicious now after she talks to the detective, to the woman detective. What is her name? Why can't I think of her name? But anyway, she talks to her, and you can tell that she's kind of suspicious of who I thought it was her husband, but apparently it's just her boyfriend. So we think, yeah, she's probably a little bit suspicious of him. We learn that Hank is wanting to sell his home because he can't deal with being like the sex offender in the neighborhood anymore. He just wants to get out of there and get a fresh start, but I don't know if he's actually going to go through with that. We'll have to see how that plays out. Police have figured out that Doug has a yellow lab, so this could really help them figure out how to catch him. So we actually found out what that key goes to, the key that was so important to Ben, and he even had it like when he was down in that bunker. And what it appears to me is that it goes to his old foster home, because when he goes to that home like at 2 a.m. every night, you saw pictures of kids from different backgrounds and ethnicities, and the dog even recognized him. So I think that dog was there when he was there years ago, and he just feels so at peace there and feels at home there. Now, what I don't understand is, where are the people, the parents? Are they on vacation? Did he know that? What's the deal? Because he's going there a lot in the middle of the night, and I just feel like they would probably hear him if they were there. So I'm not really sure, that part. But I do feel pretty confident that Ben is not up to no good, that he is not a bad character. What do you guys think about that? Because I really don't think that he's going to turn around being like in on this somehow. I really believe like his abuse was legit and real, sadly, and he's not going to be a villain in this show. There was such a powerful scene between Hank and Claire, actually twice, but the first time, Hank tells her, I had so many opportunities to hurt your son and I didn't. I never hurt him. And secondly, you're a bad mom, and that is the reason Adam was abducted. Which, you know what? She was pretty offended, but I think maybe there's some merit to that, because it seems like she was so caught up in being in politics and everything. Maybe she wasn't watching him as well as she should. However, I don't think it is her fault that her son was abducted and abused and, later died or was murdered. But maybe she does have a little bit of, she should have a little bit of guilt there. So I completely understand where Claire was coming from when she told Ben, like, you've got to leave. I will try to help you. I'll try to get you into some place, into a home or something, but you're not my son and you can't live here. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. I totally see her point there. Of course, this really upset Ben, and he was trying to think of anything he could say to convince her for him to stay. And finally, when he said, I know your son better than anyone. I can tell you all about him. They go outside. It's such a powerful scene where he's telling her all the things that she missed about her son, about his life as he grew up. Very heartbreaking, and I felt, I can understand her from that point too, where she wanted to keep him around because he had such a strong connection to Adam that no one else would ever have. And the only part that I have trouble with is deceiving everyone, because like her son and her husband, they do not know that this is not Adam, and they cannot keep lying to him, because honestly, her husband will want a divorce and he's going to move out when he finds out, because why wouldn't he feel so incredibly betrayed? I just think it's wrong that the public keeps thinking that this is Adam, that her family thinks this is Adam. Like, how long are they going to keep this going on? It's just not right. So after she has this interaction with Ben, she actually goes back over, marches over to the, across the street to Hank's, and she tells him thank you. Another super powerful scene between those two actors, which I thought was just phenomenal. So the best part of the show, however, was the huge shocker that really maybe a couple of you called. I don't remember it, but if I missed your comments with you calling this, then you rock. You're like a rock star if you figured this out. But basically, the guy detective who have been tracing this dog, tracking down this dog, he kind of was putting two and two together. He's looking at these pictures of dogs, I guess, that were adopted, and he figures out that this is Jane's dog. So he goes to talk to Jane. She's like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, Doug. And then she realizes that Doug probably did something really wrong and probably abducted Adam. I really don't think she knew until this point, until the detective was talking to her, and he was like, was Doug at the mall with you that day? Because the abductor was. And she kind of breaks down. She's like, yes. Now, he tells her she's going to have to come to the station. When she gets up and makes an excuse about going to turn the stove off and whatever she said, I was like, she's going to run out the back door. That's absolutely what I thought. I never dreamed in a million years she would come back with a pan and hit him over the head. Now, it pretty much looks like she beat him to death, which is freaking crazy. But it just gets crazier from there, because when Doug comes home, we realize that she actually knows that her boyfriend is a freaking child molester, and she has stayed with him, and she's pregnant, I guess, with his baby. Now, how sick is this woman? I think she is no better than him. I cannot stand her, and I can't believe that I've been on here saying I felt sorry for her, and she was totally in the dark. Wow, this show completely fooled me, and that's amazing, because that's a sign of a great show when they can pull one on us like that, because wow. But okay, she makes me feel so disgusting, and I just don't know how much she knows, but to be honest, it's not that shocking, because a lot of times in real life abduction stories, the wife, the girlfriend is in on it. She's like covering for the man, or she's helping in some way. So I don't know how much she helped, how much she knew, but she definitely knew enough to where she should have left and gone to police. So woman, you are no better than Doug. I mean, oh my gosh, wow. Thumbs up if you agree, because that really just makes me feel very, very, very angry. So it just appears that they've killed this detective, or she killed this detective. I don't know, that's very bad for her, because the police will find out and her future is over. Like, she's going to go to jail forever, or she'll probably end up dead, which is most likely. Although I'm not sure how they will play that out since she's pregnant, but wow. So we find out that Willa leaked papers or like not papers, but texts between the detective and her dad to make her mom look good. Like, people feel sorry for her mom because her dad had an affair. I don't know, like, her mom didn't even know she was going to do that, but Willa is kind of obsessed with her mom becoming governor to like a sick point. So I don't trust the reporter at all, and I think she's using Willa like she used Danny, and she's just out for her own good. The detective realizes that that Adam is not Adam, because she starts following him and seeing he's doing some shady stuff at, 2 a.m. every night. But the biggest clue is that he does everything right-handed, and we know that Adam was left-handed. So she's putting the pieces together. She knows that's not really Adam, but I don't know what she's going to do with this information. So we also see that Claire is spying on Ben, which I don't think is weird, because at the end of the day, he is a stranger and she's allowing him to stay in her home, and she puts a secret hidden camera in Adam's old sock monkey, and I don't see anything wrong with that, because just to be sure, just to be safe there. Wow, I just don't know where we're going here, but with the preview for next week, we see Ben and Doug come face to face again, so that looks freaking incredible. The end of this show, though, was so amazing, because we see Hank looking for someone to help him remodel his home, and someone had done some woodworking in his home before, and guess who that someone is? Yes, it is Doug. So now Doug comes over to Hank's house at the end of this episode. So what we have to try to figure out is that really just how they knew each other? We know for sure that's how he met Adam now, because Adam was over at Hank's a lot, and that's where Doug probably first spotted him or met him. But is Hank doing more than that to help Doug, or does he have no idea what or who Doug really is? I would love to hear your thoughts down below to see just how connected Doug and Hank are. That was very interesting. So, wow. If you're a fan of this show, then I would love if you would subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because I'm covering the whole first season. I will cover every season they have from now on, plus everything I do on my channel are mystery shows. I'm also covering Orphan Black Season 4, which is currently going on, and Scream from MTV second season comes back next month, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But thank you again for watching this episode of Kelly TV, and I will see you next time.